debated about whether we could speak today because we are very ugly criers. I mean, really ugly. As in, no amount of waterproof mascara will keep big black streaks from running down our faces. But Mom is worth it, so we're going to give it our best shot, right?
Right, although Josie, your song already made me an ugly crier, and Mr. Frank.
As I look out today, I see Mom's closest friends. I see the wonderful volunteers and nurses who cared for her. I see family, some who traveled a long way. And I see a lot of Daves and my friends. Please know how grateful and blessed we all are for your love and support. Mom did not want us to make a big deal out of her. She did not like to be the center of attention. But she was such a special person that we wanted to share with you some of the things we love most about her. You've no doubt noticed the sunflowers. The sweater I'm wearing was hers. Whenever she would wear it, people would stop and tell her how much they liked it. It became a game to see how many comments she would get. One day during her chemo treatment, she was wearing it. On the way into the hospital, the parking attendant commented on it. When we got inside, the ladies at the information desk commented on it. Sitting on the desk was a vase of sunflowers. We went to the lab for her blood draw, and the technician said something. We kept looking at each other and saying, "There's another one." We got to the infusion center, and her nurse commented on how pretty her sweater was. Then she turned around and showed her the tattoo on her arm. It was sunflowers. People were naturally drawn to Mom. Her friends loved her, and there would be whispers of, "Tiny's here," whenever she walked into a room. Remember, she didn't like being the center of attention, but she liked this. She even had an impact on strangers and would give cashiers and waitresses hugs if they touched her in some way. One day at the hospital, the nurse's name was Julia. Mom said, "That was my mom's name." Julia said, "How about that? My mom's name is Elaine." It was a connection meant to be, and so they had a hug. Mom and I loved each other fiercely, but we could also fight like cats and dogs. We knew how to push each other's buttons. We were really stubborn and would not give in. But our love for each other always won out, and we'd forgive and forget. We loved to shop, and I remember that one of our most intense talks, following a particularly trying period in our relationship, took place in TJ Maxx. She'd say, "You have to stop doing such and such," and "Oh my gosh, look at how cute those shoes are." And I'd fire back, "I wouldn't do that if you didn't XYZ," and "Oh my God, this dress is so adorable." It's just how we were. Mom had such an incredible appreciation and enthusiasm for things the rest of us take for granted. An amazing performance by the RPO could have her on cloud nine for days because the music moved her so much. A sunrise, sunset, harvest moon, airplanes taking off, leaves changing, you name it, and she would be so excited to the point that the reaction of the rest of us seemed so unenthusiastic. After she was diagnosed, I realized that the clock was ticking really fast, or at least a lot faster than I was ready for, and that I wanted to soak up every bit of her appreciation for all the little things that I came to understand were really big things. I wanted every second we spent together to be spent not dreading what was to come, but living in the moment, no matter how small the moment was. Over the course of many months, our days were spent going to doctor's appointments, getting scans, getting blood drawn, getting chemo, going to see a different doctor. It was exhausting, mostly for her because she saw no progress, no good news, nothing that seemed to make all the effort worth it. So we made a pact. At least once a week, every week, we had to do something fun. One day we walked on Charlotte Beach. The day we were there happened to be the first day the carousel was running again after years of being inoperable. So of course we wrote it. Another day, we went to Letchworth State Park. Neither of us had ever been to this gorgeous treasure, and we went in the fall to try and catch the leaves changing at their peak. We were about a week early, thanks to the article in the Democrat and Chronicle, which said that was the week to go, but we didn't care. It was still beautiful driving to the many lookout points. My personal favorite was to the zoo. Mom wanted to see the red panda that everyone was talking about, but the true gift of that day was seeing the elephants. We couldn't stop talking about them. When a photo popped up in my Facebook news feed a few days later of a mama elephant and her baby, I knew that I was supposed to see it. I had this photo printed on canvas and gave it to her for Christmas, knowing it would be the last one I'd have with her. Pastor Frank shared the beautiful story of getting her to come to Christ. Not knowing whether she would be going to heaven is something that caused Hillary and I so much anxiety. Shortly before he came over to our house and talked to her, she was having a particularly rough night. I was really scared that she would pass and I would have no idea if she went to heaven. At 4:30 in the morning, I went up to check on her. She asked if I wanted to lay down next to her. So I climbed in the twin bed and snuggled up to her. I said, "Mama, do you believe in Jesus?" She said, "Yes." I said, "Do you believe he died on the cross for our sins?" She said, "Yes." I said, "Do you believe that by faith and faith alone, you'll have eternal life?" She said, "Yes." Now I was praying that this would be my insurance policy if she passed before Pastor Frank talked to her. Then I said to her, "Mama, when you get to heaven, will you let me know that you got there okay?" She paused and then said, "How in the hell am I supposed to do that?" So Mama, if you're listening, I'm still waiting for a sign. But I am so grateful to know that you're with Jesus and that I'll see you again soon. A friend recently shared with me that grieving is a celebration of how much a person was loved. I love you, Mama. And I love her. I'm not done. Okay, for that.
We made a pact with each other.
Okay.
Because she'll bring me down.
I'm right here with you.
Oh, thank you for that beautiful message. I appreciate that. And Josie and Steve, that song was just so beautiful. Okay, I can do this. Raise a prayer. All right. When I was a young mom myself, I found this beautiful book that I would read to my daughter. And it starts with, my mom had a dancing heart, and she gave that heart to me. That's the front page from the book. And while my daughter and I would take that literally and dance and play together, it wasn't until after my mom passed away that I realized where the affinity to that sentence came from. Elaine Evans Rushnell fostered in both Robin and me a spirit to create, whether it was homemade birthday cards, dancing in the living room, or making Christmas cut out cookies together. And now see her, my mom's tip-tapping heart, wove a tapestry of whimsy in both of our lives. There was a magical excitement at birthday parties, and even on sick days, or when we faced challenges, my mom would take us to her closet and, like a scene from Narnia, open the closet door and pull out this box that had these trinkets in it, probably from the equivalent of the dollar store today, but it was these treasures that would just make our, worries go away. And later in life, and neither Robin nor I can figure out why she did this, she came up with a new device, and it was the Darien Handbook. And Darien was the town next to where we grew up, We have no idea why, but she decided to designate this dog-eared old phone book from the town next to where we lived, and that became the magic book that had all the answers. So whenever we were going through something, she would just say, let's check the Darien handbook. And we would just, thought it was so silly, we would just start laughing. So she gave us both a love of sunflowers. She gave us a love of old musicals, Plank Steak for sure. If you haven't had it, Robin has the recipe. And the magic of Christmas. And throughout her life, she demonstrated amazing bursts of creative gifting that were unsurpassed, as Pastor Frank had shared, you know, whether it was her writing or her art or volunteering. But I think that the greatest gift she received was Jesus. Her willingness to yield to Robin and Pastor Frank's invitation to receive Jesus. It makes me believe that she is dancing in heaven, surrounded by sunflowers, hyacinth, and snapdragons. So, embracing who my mom was, the legacy I hope to carry on into the future generations is to be a mama with a dancing heart, who gives that heart to others. And for you to remember her, we have put together packets of sunflower seeds for each of you. I believe we'll have the ushers handing them out to you. And we invite each of you to take the little packet and plant them in my mom's memory and just let them smile on your life and be inspired to have a dancing heart. And you want to share what we're doing after?
Yeah, we're having a reception at our house afterwards, and we'd love to have you come join us for a celebration. Our address is in the program, and we hope you can all be there.
And we want to thank you guys so much for taking time from your day today